And we live.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello. Guess what day it is?
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Going like it's Groundhog Day.
It is.
I was brain dead about what day it was.
Healthy happy hour. And our matching hoodies. Come get your Functionised hoodie.
Why cholesterol is not as bad for you as you think. Why?
Scandalous.
Yes. Why cholesterol and high levels of it may actually help you live longer and healthier.
Yes, that's even better.
Exactly.
I don't want to be old and not healthy.
So grab a friend. It's 7-ish, about 36 and change out of it. Know we said hi to you, and hi to you. Yes, hello everybody coming in there. And let's get rocking.
Okay, cholesterol is so exciting.
So speaking about cholesterol, we've also got our recipe of the week.
It's really not a recipe.
So when we were up in Crystal Springs, we went, I know you're waiting for cholesterol here and I'm going off on a tangent. When we were up in Crystal Springs, we got some passes to go to, it seems to be a biodynamically farmed farm.
Orchard. Orchards. Okay.
Apples, peaches, plums, pears. Delicious. I mean, it's not like all lined up perfectly. It's just wild.
All over. Huge
Gorgeous.
mountain. Beautiful.
So we picked a lot of it, and of course, since we don't eat much fruit, it's starting to go really ripe. So what do you do when something's going to go ripe? No, George, you don't throw it out. You put it into a pot, and you boil it with a couple sticks of butter. Melt it down. And cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon.
Yeah.
And you eat it. So
it's the first stage of a crumble. I can't call it an apple crumble because it's an apple, pear, and peach crumble. It's an orchard fruit crumble. That's what we call it. Orchard fruit crumble. I just haven't had time.
You just made it up.
I did to make the almond flour, butter, and brown sugar swerve with cinnamon crumble, and we're gonna bake it. It's gonna be amazing.
Freaking awesome.
So we brought the goodies that are going into the orchard crumble.
Would you like to show it?
He brought the whole thing.
We'll put it up on the Healthy Happy Hour, no problem, on the Facebook group page, which we're still saying is free to join, by the way. So
I don't
feel free.
Know how. You brought the whole container. It's a lot of fruit in there.
So
it's a lot of peaches, a lot of
This is how I will eat. This is my bowl. This is the bowl of the Big Daddy.
So it's been in the fridge to solidify a little bit. So it's still delicious. We'll have a little.
You?
All right.
That's so sweet of you.
I want a peach.
I want a peach too. I could eat one for hours.
But really, I mean.
Hey, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
All right. This.
So tell you what.
Will not negatively impact your cholesterol.
The Fit Lab is open for another hour-ish. So if you want to grab a fork, come on by.
Let's find a pear.
All right, while Chantea goes to town there, I am going to start about cholesterol.
All right.
The nitty-gritty, the boring of what is cholesterol. And I'm not going to get all sciencey. I know, Anita, thank you for letting me know that sometimes I'm going a little bit above and beyond there. What exactly is cholesterol? And it's really just a waxy substance found in pretty much every cell of your body. And it's really essential to good health. It's not a bad thing, believe it or not.
Health regulates a lot of bodily functions.
Hormones, production, digestion, manufacturing of vitamin D following sun exposure.
Your brain, cognitive functioning.
It protects your cell membranes. Now, these are some major things here. So those that are having low-fat diets, those that are staying away from cholesterol, those that are taking your statins, what happens to your hormones? They're lower. So your functioning, your thyroid function, your sex hormone production, testosterone, estrogen, these all plummet. You're going to feel like doo-doo.
Raises your risk for depression,
Absolutely.
suicide, can all change from improper cholesterol levels.
Improper digestion. So when you're not digesting properly, what's going to happen? You're not absorbing these nutrients that you need for your body to thrive.
And lower inflammation.
Correct. Manufacturing vitamin D. Vitamin D is becoming the super hormone of immune function. So if you're not getting enough vitamin D because you're having low fat and taking statins, then what's going to happen? You're going to become sick and unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the American Heart Association actually now recommends you balance your cholesterol levels at about 150 milligrams per deciliter. That's low. That's really low, really achieved by statins. And according to old unfounded science, your total cholesterol, the sum of your HDL, LDL put together, is not a gauge of your heart disease risk. I said old.
Not a gauge.
When your levels are measured, the elevated levels of triglycerides also got to be taken into an account.
Mm-hmm. Well, pesky little triglycerides.
Cholesterol's got to be bad for you, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
is bad for you. Cholesterol has been vilified, right? It's always been the villain. And of cardiovascular disease.
Cheerios, lower your cholesterol. You're eating grains that you don't need. You're causing inflammation.
High cholesterol has not directly correlated with heart disease. It really isn't. And you're going to say, why not? This has been told forever and ever. It's been wrong.
Research, and who's behind it?
Numerous studies.
There are very flawed studies that can really just tell you anything that you want to hear.
Right. It's noted by Harcombe. I always want to call him Abercrombie. Harcombe, the notion that there is a good and bad cholesterol is totally wrong. LDL, low-density lipoproteins, and high-density lipoproteins, the HDL, is typically the good and the bad. The HDL is the good, the LDL is the bad, not necessary. Not necessary.
Right.
It's not actually cholesterol.
No.
Go see who's here?
I will go see who's visiting.
Thank you. Maybe they want some of the good stuff.
Oh, maybe.
It's not actually cholesterol. They're carriers and transporters of cholesterol, triglycerides, fat, phospholipids, and proteins. Who here has heard of the idea of good and bad cholesterol? There you go, I'm getting some waves. Good stuff. Cholesterol is not indicative of heart disease, as I keep saying. For the past 6 decades, the U.S. dietary advice has warned against eating cholesterol-rich foods. So, I'm coming back. Wonderful. Claiming dietary cholesterol promotes arterial plaque formation that leads to heart disease. We now have overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Overwhelming. So stop thinking old school. So when we change dogma, what's going to happen is...
Ben Affleck's going to hang him?
Dude. With dogma, we're going to have a lot of resistance. Then there's going to be totally anger and rage. And then, and only then, can we actually make some change. And after decades worth of research failed to demonstrate a correlation between dietary cholesterol and heart disease. The 2015 to 2020 dietary guidelines for Americans finally addressed the scientific shortcoming, announcing cholesterol is not considered a nutrient of concern for overconsumption. So it's becoming known, but because of the old school thought process, people still don't get it nor understand. And to this day, the evidence keeps mounting, showing there's no link between the two.
Yes.
So how did we ever come up with this idea in the first place?
Somebody said something somewhere way down, the telephone, and then they told somebody, and they told somebody, and it's all wrong.
So in 1957, there was a biochemist by the name of Fred Kummerow. And his research was overshadowed by, I keep bringing it up, Dr. Ansel Keys. And I'm going to put my link to all this research on the show notes.
Okay.
And I'm also going to put the link in the Facebook, what do you call those? Comment section?
Comments, yes.
I'm sounding cultured by not knowing what I'm talking about.
We do so much, it all blends together.
Ansel Keys straight up cherry-picked his ideas to produce this link between cholesterol where you pour fat into a drain and the water can't get through. So therefore, he's saying,
clogging all your arteries as
right.
well. Then, yeah.
The only problem is we are not plumbing like that. The cholesterol, the fat, is not actually going to harden in our arteries and veins because, well, we're warm enough. It keeps from hardening.
Liquid and kind of, moves around.
Right. By this time, Ansel came out with his stuff. Dr. Krumerov's stuff, the biochemist, was debunked. Everyone kind of forgot about him. And that kind of sucks for the world.
Yep. Because that's important.
Right. Now, guidelines are published confusing the crap out of people. And a lot of people here watching this, I'm sure, are still confused, right?
Right. Everybody go to a doctor. You got to lower your cholesterol. Lower your cholesterol. Oh, we're going to put you on the statins. You got to lower that cholesterol.
My question
And
is...
these are doctors. What are they thinking?
They're not.
Exactly. They're going by such
Fire.
old... Yeah.
Fire your doctor. If you don't get what he's saying, you don't agree with what he's saying, fire him. Or her. Get rid of them. If they're not keeping on top of the research,
doctor.
get a new doctor. It's easy to fire your doctor. Just get a new one. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Absolutely.
Why is it some of the individuals that eat the highest amounts of fat, they look the best, they feel the best, they live the longest? And why is the people that are continuously questioning the things that I'm saying right now, they've got heart disease, they've got diabetes, they're sick all the time, they're obese. Why are you
They're
questioning?
unhappy, they're depressed, yeah.
So what are you still questioning? Why not look at people who are living a life full of vitality, living longer, have abs,
Have energy.
and have tons of energy? It's wrong, the science that we've been following. A lot of people also think vegetable oils are healthy for us. So by bringing in higher rancid omega-6 fatty acids, now we're causing inflammation. Now we're damaging our arteries and veins.
Eat your wild-caught Atlantic salmon.
So adults over the age of 60 with higher LDL levels live longer. Remember that. Adults over 60 with higher LDL, that's the bad cholesterol,
Right.
live longer. And as I've already said, total cholesterol levels are not predictive of the risk of heart disease and may be absent or inverse in many studies. And few adults who experience familial hypercholesterolemia die prematurely. So individuals...
With a family history.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
breaking it down
Yes.
for the world.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk statins now.
Because that's what they want to give you to lower your cholesterol.
Statins are big business. There's a doctor I know you want to put statins in your drinking water. You hear that? Say no. So statins are cholesterol-lowering drugs, and it's supposedly going to lower your risk of heart disease. But evidence behind this is really slim to none.
There's so much more damage caused by statins than lowering your cholesterol, which it may not even do.
I'll get into exactly what they do to you in a second. The implied conclusion is that statins will help you live longer by lowering cholesterol. However, the research studies were actually designed by statin makers. In 2018, there was a review that actually identified significant flaws in 3 recent studies published by statin advocates attempting to validate the current dogma. And the paper actually presents a substantial amount of evidence that total cholesterol and low-density lipoprotein, LDL, cholesterol levels are not an indication of heart disease risk. Ah. And
I'm sensing a recurring theme here.
It is. It is. Statin treatment is of doubtful benefit as a form of primary prevention for this reason. Wave if you heard that one. Thank
Holla.
you. Holla. I love it. So here's what statins do. There's 35 million people on statins currently. 35 freaking million people who are going to most likely experience side effects, such as...
Depression.
You gotta go for the brain, right?
Yeah.
Headaches, neuromusculoskeletal pain, back pain, side flank pain, nasal congestion, stuffiness, runny nose, difficulty sleeping, constipation,
You don't want that diarrhea too. You don't want that either.
hoarseness. And
Does that sound like a high quality of life to you? I don't think so.
In case you need another source to implicate statins' role in psychiatric problems, she's not cuckoo for cocoa
No,
puffs, but
suicide rates do increase as you ingest statins. It's messing with the brain's ability to function with cholesterol and healthy fats traveling throughout the body.
correct. In a study done in April of 2018, found that lowering cholesterol levels in men could bring about changes in the nerve cell membranes and behavior. So
Don't want them cranky.
it's personality change. Those that are on statins, lower cholesterol, thus will have personality change as a direct result of hormones. I hope I'm starting to get through to people here a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. Statin drugs have even more side effects for those with diabetes. And those with diabetes, we just uncovered, are at a far higher risk for the COVID.
That is true. Lower immune system, lower body able to fight.
So those living with diabetes and deciding to take statins, some general symptoms: UTI infections, dizziness, partial loss of sensitivity to sensory stimuli, distortion of sense of taste, amnesia, and headaches. Those that are foodies, you want to enjoy your food, especially while being diabetic. You're hopefully eating better food, so you're really wanting to appreciate those flavors, and you're not able to do so anymore with lower cholesterol levels. GI. Chantea is getting into the poopy stuff of this here.
Unfortunate side effect, but it happens.
Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
Don't take Pepto-Bismol.
Indigestion, nausea, intestinal gas, constipation, abdominal
Not
discomfort,
good
abdominal
for
pain,
your
vomiting.
spouse, for your partner. I mean, think about
Gross.
That's
awful.
the well-being.
That is
of
awful.
It is.
Metabolic, abnormal liver function test, hyperglycemia, hepatitis, anorexia, hypoglycemia, and weight gain.
In addition to Alzheimer's.
What?
It can increase your risk for Alzheimer's.
You want to get in metabolic function here. You're going to get abnormal liver function test, hyperglycemia, hepatitis.
Drinking will not help you.
Anorexia, hypoglycemia, and again, weight gain. So it's really starting to show statins keep the body fat on, doesn't it? You want to look better. You want to feel better. Lowering your cholesterol right now is not going that way. And again, one thing I always learned in chiropractic school was that statins are going to cause neuromuscular skeletal pain.
And hurt.
A lot of people get hip pain, especially with that. And
if you don't want to move, you're not going to exercise.
And one thing that I kept on being told throughout school was that always check on a medical history if someone's taking statins. Don't start adjusting. Don't start just treating. If you're taking statins, that may come up. So always ask that question.
Excellent point.
A lot of times you can get rid of pain just by not getting someone off statins but working with the primary care physician who prescribed the statins to get them off the statins. And there's
a cohesive approach.
A death in up to 10% of patients from cardiovascular disease. So statins trying to lower cardiovascular disease actually are contributing to it. Fantabular, huh?
Great.
So what do doctors like to do? Overprescribe. And rather than pointing patients in the direction of finding dietary solutions, it's so much easier to take a pill. And hearing patients come in, our members, a lot of them come in and say, "Isn't there just a pill I could take?"
No.
There are pills, but
there are supplements
you can work with
supplements.
Pills, potions, different ways of getting in.
Yeah.
Anti-aging.
IVs, I mean,
Eating both the whites and the yolks when having eggs, and ditching the processed vegetable oils in favor of actual healthy oils, such as some healthy oils that
avocado. I love to use avocado oil.
I wasn't going to expect you said that in the first one, but go ahead. What else?
Well, it's olive oil, it's coconut oil.
Absolutely.
But I like cooking with avocado oil.
I concur.
It's light.
Believe it or not, taking the things that people are being told not to use.
Avocados. Eat your avocados. We're medical.
Exactly.
It's good for you. They're so good.
Stick with those oils, not the vegetable oils, all day long.
No vegetable oils. No canola oil, no vegetable oil, no safflower oil, any of those.
Right. If it's a vegetable, if it's grown and an oil's made from it, throw it out. I mean, don't even bother using it. Chuck it. If you're not taking a statin now, you could be soon. Medications are always overprescribed here in the U.S. and routinely recommended for people who have any type of cardiovascular disease. And a lot of people, once they hit the age of 40, and nobody listened. Okay, she's pointing. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone who's between 40 and 75, it's routine. You go to the doctor, time to put you on a statin. They don't even have cardiovascular disease. I can walk into a doctor
You got
right
that
now.
Althea sticker? It's so loud. It's just great.
It's loud and 48 beats a minute.
It's so low here. It's
So,
super
walk
healthy.
into the doctor, they can tell me, hey Jim, time to go on a statin. You're at that age. You fire that doctor right now. It leads to a 7.5 greater risk of stroke or heart attack in the next decade. So, if she wants to keep me around longer,
It's no stroke every day.
Phil, what is it? Half stroke Mondays, partial stroke Tuesdays.
Something like that.
He just looks like he's having one. He's not having one. So, cause of heart disease here, based on research launched for the low-fat myth, and reshaped the food industry for decades here. It really ruined things
It's
in this
so
country and
did.
world. Saturated fat and cholesterol are rejected. Manufacturers switched to using trans fats and sugar to help with taste.
You, yes.
Yep. So what happens?
It hooks you with addictive brain.
What happens to the inflammation at that point?
Skyrockets.
How? Over an extended period of time, chronic inflammation, the cause of all disease. There's the secret. Cause of all diseases?
Tell ya all the
Chronic
time.
inflammation. It silently and slowly damages your tissues and arterial walls, which your body wants to repair. And these repairs may build over time and create plaque, potentially breaking off, blocking smaller arteries in the heart. You got the widowmaker there, triggering a heart attack or stroke. So it's not the cholesterol, peeps. It's the fact that you're not having saturated fat. It's the fact that you're eating trans fats and vegetable oils and sugars.
No more Crisco.
This is really what is causing what people thought was cholesterol. It goes on for years and years and years until one day, you're done.
It wasn't the bacon.
No,
Not the
it was not the
bacon.
bacon. Research demonstrated deficiencies and excesses of certain micronutrients such as folate, B, D, zinc. I said folate, which is a B vitamin.
Mm-hmm.
Peeps.
You can only say it so much.
Right. Let's talk about high cholesterol leading to a longer life.
Yes, longer's better.
Eat your meat.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Eat your organs.
Yes.
Just stumbled upon a company called Heart and Soil. So if you're not looking to go to a butcher, as I'm starting to figure out the
He's branching into new worlds, people.
mad scientist is looking which
yay.
organs are appropriate based on her labs, based on my labs. Grind them up in some meat so the flavor is kind of eliminated, blended up, and it's like having a meatball for your multivitamin every day.
Yeah.
So while I'm doing that, I went to Heart and Soil. Individual I'm looking to bring into the movie, the Keto Project. I was behind that all. Another MD, internist, amazing. I can't tell him to keep his shirt on because I am always taking mine off too, so that would be a
It's
little...
no shirt Friday every day at home. It really is.
Let's get back to the topic of Japanese people studying stuff in the annals of nutrition and metabolism. Older people with higher LDL, the bad stuff, generally live just as long and may even outlive people with low LDL levels. The reason behind this is still being flushed out, no pun intended. Really a pun, but we were talking about poop before, so there you go. And discovered we're kind of got some theories and some factors coming into
The
play.
new research is being done to fully understand why higher
Correct.
cholesterol levels are helping people live longer.
So cholesterol may protect against infections and atherosclerosis, as the many observations that conflict with the LDL receptor hypothesis may be explained by the idea that high serum cholesterol and or high LDL is protective against infection and atherosclerosis. Cholesterol also can protect against cancer. Booyah! Number one killer, cancer. Heart disease is right behind that.
So anything you can do to lower your risks, you should do.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And, mount up.
Panda.
Panda.
Panda. We like our panda.
So cholesterol, 180 milligrams per deciliter and lower, and violence in psychiatric patients is actually tend to be linked. So those who are struggling with the mind.
Get your cholesterol levels checked.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're too low, eat some meat.
Cholesterol and suicide, it's
As I said.
more than a decade has been linked. So something to really, really, really take into consideration. If you're having mental
Depressive thoughts, suicidal thoughts.
and decide that you want to be a vegetarian, that may not be the best of ideas for you. Yeah. I don't want to harp on vegans right now, but
You're not getting everything that you need.
correct. And as we talked about on Fun Friday, there's a Fun Friday we talked about?
You
Oh, you were
and I-
not here. Dr. Michael
I died a little.
Brandon Michael. You died a little. We were discussing the fact that
Superfood.
vegetables do not break down as good in the human intestines, therefore may putrefy and cause more dysfunction. Absolutely.
Toxic veggies.
Do you know where a quarter of all the cholesterol in the body is?
Tell me.
The brain,
I know.
where it performs the functions as actually an antioxidant. Numbers of studies have demonstrated that, contrary to popular belief, the higher cholesterol levels are associated with better brain health.
Your brain needs fat to transport all that information.
Memories, neurological function. For example, low cholesterol levels have been shown to increase your risk of depression and suicide, and in some cases rather dramatically. Just said that, saying it again. Really trying to get that into you. Additionally, a number of studies have demonstrated the importance of higher cholesterol for the prevention of the devastating neurodegenerative disease of Alzheimer's.
Did you forget we just...
I did. Now you're getting to be the cornball. Iron, like pumping iron, metabolism disease. There's a meta-analysis actually published in 2013 that found 5755 published studies demonstrated a positive relationship between iron and cardiovascular disease.
Not
Wait.
low iron, though.
Correct. When higher iron levels being linked to a higher risk of disease. Iron creates an environment for oxidative stress, and excess iron may actually increase your inflammation, increase your risk of heart disease. An ideal iron level for adult men and non-menstruating. Why does it bother me so much? Women!
Don't know.
Is between 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. So if you're measuring your iron on your own, there you go. You don't want to be below 20 nanograms per milliliter or above 80 nanograms per milliliter. If you want us to measure for you, just ask. We'll
Order it when we get done.
we'll get together with you.
Yeah.
Iron overload, chronic disease. First thing people think about when they hear iron is anemia, right?
Yeah, too low.
IDA, iron deficiency anemia, is not realizing that iron overload is actually a more common problem and is more dangerous. So guys, we don't take iron supplements.
Right.
Women, you lose it for 5 days, hypothetically speaking. All right, realistically speaking, every single month, right? Us guys, we don't. So an iron supplement is not typically necessary.
And one of the best ways, if you have high iron, is to donate blood. If you're a healthy individual,
Correct.
you can donate it to help balance your system.
Elevated levels linked to cancer, heart disease, neurodegenerative disease, gouty arthritis, hep C, liver disease, and other health problems like this. How do you keep them in check? You just said it.
I did.
Donate blood.
Yeah. Watch your alcohol intake.
Yep. Excessive iron levels. I don't want to say it, but and I'm only saying I don't want to say it just because I love our cast iron. I did not at all rinse them out after those burgers last night. I left them in there for our next meal. It is going to be amazing.
Okay. They were good burgers.
They were amazing.
They were really good burgers.
Regular eating processed foods such as cereal and white bread and fortified with iron, which most of them are. Worse off, iron is non-organic iron.
It's not digestible. It's not processed.
Right, and that's actually more in common, seeing not digestible, as rust oxide. With the rust that you find...
Rust-oleum.
No. No, not at all.
I hate Rust-oleum.
Well water is typically higher in iron, so to fix that, you can get a iron precipitator and or a reverse osmosis filter. Taking vitamins that have iron in it, and believe it or not, you want to increase your absorption of iron if you're iron deficient. Sounds terrible. Here's a biohack. Consume alcohol more. Yeah, actually,
You will absorb more.
regular consumption of alcohol increases absorption of iron in your diet.
So if you're deficient.
If you're deficient and want that one single glass of wine per night, and we already have your inflammation levels in check, then biohack that.
But if you're excessively iron abundant, you need to cut back on the drinking.
Yeah. So I'm going to get into some science for a second here. GGT test. That is, let me see if I can get this right. We know it's gamma, right?
Yeah.
Glutamyl transportase.
Okay.
GGT. Yep. It can be used as a screening marker for excess free iron and is a great indicator of your sudden cardiac death risk. Don't do that. I like you.
I know.
Stick around, please.
Okay. I'll do what I can.
In recent years, scientists discovered that GGT is highly interactive with iron, and when both your serum ferritin and GGT are high, you are at a significantly upped risk of chronic health problems and early death, because then you have a combination of free iron, highly toxic.
No,
Toxic?
no,
Yeah,
no.
like Britney Spears. No. And
She's toxic.
she was fun back in the day. When I was in high school. So get tested annually. Is really what it comes down to. We talk when it comes down to heart disease about lifestyle choices a lot.
Is.
A lot about lifestyle choices, and a lot of people. I was talking to someone earlier today. It doesn't seem like they want to make the lifestyle choices.
Mm-hmm.
It's too tough for them. The fun part is, like, we take that burden right off you. We literally will do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Eat this. Only this.
Simple.
Eat that. Here's a choice of this or that. You don't want to cook for yourself. Here is the food delivered to you. I mean, it's that simple.
Yes.
But lifestyle factors. If you're fat and unhealthy, let's just put it that way. If your BMI says that you're obese, you're unhealthy. If you have a six-pack, you could still be unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are far less likely, however. Lifestyle choices have to be made, and if you are unhealthy and you choose to be unhealthy, be happy.
Don't complain about it.
Right.
I don't want to hear it.
But if you want to be healthier, you want to live longer, whether it's hopefully for yourself, your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your
Kids.
mother, your father, your children, big one,
Yeah, the big one.
your
Do anything
grandkids,
for your kids.
whatever it is, lifestyle changes have to be made. And all you are actually a direct representation of your lifestyle, of all those past choices. You know, when they say on stocks that past performance is not indicative of future, well, in this case, your past lifestyle habits are directly indicative of
Your future.
your current. Your current choices are indicative of, there you go, your future. So here's one. Reduce net carbs. I'm not saying go full-blown keto. Most people don't know what it is unless you have, I'm looking up here at our keto reader, unless you have a ketone reader and you're actually factoring it. Unless you can actually tell me how many millimoles per liter of blood that your ketones need to be in ketosis and how to get there, then you better talk to us on this one. It's not just, hey, I'm going keto now. But reducing your net carbs and eliminating processed fructose is big, big, big on these lifestyle changes. Replace lost calories with higher amounts of healthy fats, not protein.
Avocados.
You love those avocados.
By Mexico.
Hey, you are Mexican. Normalize your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. Most people get far too little omega-6s, right?
No.
I mean, far too little omega-3s.
Correct.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Feels like it's
Sixes
Friday
are
night.
out of control. Off the charts.
See, without you, where would I be? You clean up my messes. I appreciate
know.
you.
And you clean up fine.
So, too little omega-3s found in fatty fish such as wild Alaskan salmon. Oh my goodness, the amazing, the sockeye salmon. Still,
Which one?
any sockeye salmon that you get, the ones from Thrive
Yeah,
are really
those
good.
are really good.
Sardines, anchovies, I like them. Fish oils, krill.
Krill's not bad.
We use too much omega-6s. There should be a ratio, but you're getting too much omega-6s anyway. Forget about it, as they say in Jersey. They don't actually say that in Jersey. They really don't. Not at least from where we're from.
But in Florida, that's what we know that they say. I don't know how. It's just
Processed fried foods has way too many omega-6s in it. Hit up.
vegetable oil.
Yep. And
Grain-fed products have
There-
very high levels of
there is
omega-6.
seaweed that has omega-3s in it. However, your body, again, is not breaking it down. It's supposed to be like the newest trend, like a year ago.
Right.
And no, it's just your body's not breaking it down. You have to have so much of it. Sorry, bite the big one. Have some fish. And if you don't like fish, take some fish pills, and a lot of them. It's
You
true.
have to take more pills than eating salmon.
You can also have grass-finished beef. You're going to have higher amounts of omega-3s in that as well. Booyakacha.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yep. Get regular sunshine, sensible sun exposure, and make sure you're getting your nutrients such as K2 and C and magnesium. And believe it or not, you get vitamin C in beef organs. Yes, you do. And grass-fed beef organs. 8 hours of, 7.6 hours of high-quality sleep every night, normalizing your hormonal system. You can track it on your Fitbit or the Oura Ring.
Yes.
Yep. And just because you're getting the recommended amount of sleep doesn't mean it's actually quality, right?
That is so true. You can sleep for 10 hours and have the effects of a 5-hour sleep. It just depends on what
Right.
level of sleep that you get into.
Keeping your bedroom optimized 68 to 72 degrees helps a lot.
Oh,
It really does.
Those nights were so nice at the windows.
Those regular routines, the sleeping routines, patterns. I'm loving the Dream Chaser. I
Oh,
gotta
you
say,
do.
I don't get addicted to it. I use it when I'm feeling. Sometimes when I'm overtired, I use it just
Helps
to
to calm the brain
replenish
down. Yeah.
the neurotransmitters.
Mm-hmm.
Regular exercise, move throughout the day. Get that magnesium. A lot of nutrient-depleted soil here in the U.S.
If you find yourself craving chocolate, it could be magnesium deficient.
Your body actually flushes your excess magnesium through stool. So using magnesium citrate and monitoring stool consistency, you should probably consider starting with, say, 200 milligrams of oral magnesium citrate and gradually increasing until you develop slightly loose stools. A lot to be said than going to Walgreens or CVS, getting magnesium citrate and just start downing it.
Not a good idea.
Start slow.
A
Slow.
little bit.
Inflammation, cardiovascular disease. All chronic disease is created by chronic inflammation. Cardiovascular disease is no different. Multiple factors. Hyperinsulinemia. Hyperinsulinemia. Excess insulin in the blood triggered by a diet high in net carbs. And guess what? What you tend to eat becomes the deal breaker in how much insulin your body secretes. However, other factoids contributing to insulin levels: smoking, sleep quality, exercise, and D levels. Huge.
Vitamin D, absolutely. It is underrated, the importance of vitamin D.
Mm-hmm. So, and again, going back here to making sure the inflammation levels go down, omega-3s, saturated fats, get them in there. Yeah, I said get them in there. I can't stress enough about those vegetable oils, right? So let's get sciencey. Let's get nerdy. Let's go study here.
Oh, yes! Nerd out.
Minnesota Coronary Experiment is a study performed between 1968 and I want to say 73. It examined the relationship between diet and heart health. And up until 2016, the results were not even published. But they appeared in the BMJ, an analysis that collected data revealed lowering your cholesterol levels through dietary intervention did not reduce at all your risk of death from coronary heart disease. It's a big study. I'll publish that study for you in the show notes as well as the, comments.
The feed,
Cultured.
yeah.
Thank you. Research actually found that for every 30-point drop in total cholesterol, there's a 22% increase in the risk of death from cardiac disease. Upon autopsy, the group eating vegetable oil and the group eating saturated fat had the same amount of atherosclerotic plaque in their arteries. But the group eating saturated fat experienced nearly half the number of heart attacks as the group eating vegetable oil. Means eat your saturated fat. I love saying this again and again.
Because you love eating it.
I do love eating it. So my pound of bacon Sundays after a nice run with the guys is great, right?
Yes, it is.
I know we've talked a lot on this healthy happy hour
Yeah.
on how lowering your cholesterol,
It's not a good thing.
higher cholesterol leads to longer lifespan, lower cholesterol leads to painful death.
Yes.
Simple.
Yeah.
What more is there to discuss?
There's not. There's nothing else. That's it. We're done.
All right.
Go eat some fat.
Yes. Eat some fat. Yes. Love it.
That's not fat. I don't have a fat head.
Tomorrow is the last day that Jim has to get my ish together to get the Fit Clinic up and running.
It's going
Yeah.
to be amazing.
I want to thank Alex for busting your ass and getting that tile looking amazing and immaculate.
So pretty.
It looks gorgeous. You got to check
You
that out.
should just
the
come in
tile
just to
job.
see the tile. That's it.
If anyone wants to volunteer some time, to which you'll probably be compensated by some lunch,
Some fat burgers.
fatty burgers, most likely from Burger Bros. I'll get that burger salad. Why? It fills me up. Some fit aids, some bars. Volunteer. Help me.
Party.
Help me set up a little bit. We'll have some fun.
A pre-opening party.
Pre-opening party.
Pre-opening
So
party.
the Fit Lab, for those that are curious,
Yes.
it's not moving. The Fit Lab is staying in the same location. We do need more space. We are busting at the seams, trying to figure out how to get our red room in here.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
I don't know how, but it's going to happen.
We always make it happen.
We do make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. And in the next couple days, also going to publish Dr. Brandon's notes that he had from his brain scan, both pre and post to eating Burger King. Fun stuff.
Ooh, it was not pretty.
Not pretty at all. If you want to watch it, it's up in its entirety in YouTube. I may swap it out with some better quality footage. My advice to you...
Only Burger King.
No, my advice to you is to skip to the last 2 minutes of it. For the total synopsis, that will be in the movie. The rest leading up to it may not, but if you want to get into the nitty-gritty,
Very detailed.
or
If you really just want to learn
mostly.
brain maps and,
It's very
Right.
fascinating, very interesting,
Mhm.
from Dr. Mitchell Sadar, one of the best, most brilliant minds literally in the entire world. So, big, big, big deal. Thank you to the Sadars, for working with us and being a part of the Keto Project movie. This movie is going to kick freaking amazing booty.
So true to the testament of the quality of food that you eat and how your body responds.
Right.
Everything we just talked about, what you eat is how your body runs. Eat like crap,
Fact.
run like crap.
Lastly, we are looking for interns. If you want to be a part of the Functionized team, reach out through the DM or email us at support@functionized.com. Again, support@functionized.com. You want some college credits? We're looking for individuals preferably that are either at the end of undergrad or entering a master's program or somewhere in a master's program. That would be amazing to have you learn the ins and outs of the human body, how to make it perform better, how to biohack, and possibly take over your own Fit Lab location at some point in time. We're also looking for doctors of chiropractic. No, Dr. Brandon is not going anywhere, but we have too many individuals to get better, and we need top quality. So if you
must fix our philosophy.
correct, if you're looking to just whack them, crack them, smack them on the ass, and get them out,
Keep going.
go. If you are looking to use modalities day in and day out,
We're
and
not
that's all you want to
instrument
do,
related. You have hands.
we want somebody who's going to be able to analyze the body, understand movement patterns, not static, but true movement patterns, and correct that movement pattern. Again, send out your resume to support@functionized.com and a DM. Nutritionists will be looking for you shortly. Wine, dine, razzle, and dazzle.
You must impress to join.
Only reason I'm saying that is because, obviously, from watching all our stuff, we are looking for outside the box thinkers and not looking for the norms. If you're looking at research from 20 years ago, no, we want new stuff here. And we're very open and love to sit around and make fun of each other and
Elevate the game.
elevate our game each
Yeah.
and every week. So
Well,
we
no doubt.
live functionized by becoming a better version of ourselves. I can say at this point in time, I'm better than I was at 5 a.m. this morning when I first awoke.
5:30.
Hopefully, killing me, Smalls.
I'm on.
My
should
goal
have
is to
eaten
be a better version of myself tomorrow at this time than I was today.
That'll happen.
Absolutely. As always, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, please, please tell a friend. The best compliment that we can get right now is a share. So please share and comment.
Groundbreaking information.
If you listen to this on the podcast player, please, please, please leave a honest 5-star review. That will help get us out to even more
Just
listeners
share
out
this
there.
groundbreaking news.
She's a PhD. Just saying.
We can still be fun.
Yes, and we can still be friends. Love you.
Okay.
You got anything to say?
No.
Okay. Let's eat more of the pre-cobbler cobbler.
It's the orchard cobbler.
So,
Thank you all.
thank you all
Y'all.
again.
Y'all.
This is your mad scientist. I am out.
And Beauty Brains Braun is out.
Live functionized.